Hey guys, welcome back to another movie review. So tonight, I just got back from watching Thunderbolts, and this is my spoiler-free review. Now, if y'all don't know what this movie is about, this is a brand new Marvel movie that follows a group of anti-heroes and super soldiers who are not only sent to embark on a dangerous mission, but they must also face the dark corners of their past. The team consists of characters like Yelena Belova, Red Guardian, John Walker, aka US Agent, Bucky Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier, Ghost, and Taskmaster. When this movie was first announced, I can't lie, I didn't care for it at all, and I didn't care for most of the characters on the team, with the exceptions of Yelena and Bucky. But when the trailers for this movie dropped on the internet, I thought they looked absolutely incredible, and I got super excited for this movie. I've heard a bunch of great reviews about this movie, and guys, now that I have seen this movie, I can happily say that the MCU is absolutely back, man. This is not only one of the best Marvel movies to ever come out post-Avengers Endgame, but it might just be a top 10 movie within the MCU itself. This is genuinely one of the most unique comic book movies we have ever gotten in the past couple of years, and I am so happy that Marvel absolutely cooked with this movie. There are so many things to process here, so let's break down the best and worst parts of the movie. The first positive for this movie is the chemistry and the dynamics between the Thunderbolts team themselves. This entire Thunderbolts team has amazing chemistry, and it is by far one of the best team dynamics I've ever seen since Guardians of the Galaxy. Overall, I enjoyed seeing the team have amazing chemistry in this movie. Another positive for this movie is Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova. I'm not exaggerating when I say that Yelena is easily the star of this movie, and Florence Pugh gave an amazing performance as this character. Overall, I thought Yelena Belova was such an incredible character in this movie. Another positive for this movie is the action. This movie easily has some of the best action set pieces in the entire MCU, and you can honestly tell that there is not a single action sequence that has rushed CGI. The action in this movie is fully practical, and I think that's a win in my book. Overall, I thought the practical action sequences in this movie were dope as heck. Another positive for this movie is the comedy. I am not lying to you guys when I say that this is one of the funniest Marvel movies I've seen in a while, and there is a lot of good humor in this movie. And shout out to David Harbour as Red Guardian, because he is by far the funniest character in this entire movie, and every single joke this man said has absolutely landed. Overall, I thought the jokes in this movie were pure comedy gold. Another positive for this movie is that Bucky finally got his aura back. For years, I have been waiting to see this man aura farm again like he did in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and I am so glad that this movie actually managed to do that. Overall, it was just so great seeing Bucky finally gain his aura back. Another positive for this movie is the villain known as Sentry or Bob or the Void or whatever you want to call him. If you're worried about Sentry being nerfed in this movie, put your worries to rest, because my god, did they absolutely cook with Sentry. I am not kidding when I say that Sentry is by far the most overpowered character in this entire movie, and he might end up being one of my favorite MCU characters of all time. And the way they handled the Void in this movie was absolutely incredible, and this dude was an absolute demon. This dude was on absolute demon timing in this movie, and he is genuinely such a great villain. And shout out to Lewis Pullman, because he absolutely nailed it at playing 3 different characters. And just like Yelena, he too is also the star of this movie. Overall, I am so happy that Sentry was not nerfed in this movie. And the final positive for this movie is the story. The story of this movie basically tackles the themes of mental health, depression, loneliness, self-worth, trauma, and finding a purpose in life. And I thought it was a story that I felt emotionally connected to. Overall, I thought the story of this movie absolutely hit me like a bag of bricks. Now, on to the negatives. There is not a lot, but if there was one negative I would point out, is that I wish we could have gotten this movie sooner. Because if you think about it, most of the characters in this movie, aside from Bucky, were introduced back in Phase 4, and I feel like this should have been the movie to end that phase instead of Phase 5. But overall, I had an awesome time at the theaters watching this, and this is not only one of the best MCU movies to come out post-Endgame, but it's also a top 10 MCU movie in my opinion, and I highly recommend this movie because I promise y'all are gonna enjoy this movie the way I did, and the rating I would give for this is a solid 9 out of 10. And just a friendly reminder before I end this video, this movie not only has a mid-credit scene, but it also has a post-credit scene that you definitely need to stick around for because it is by far one of the best post-credit scenes in MCU history. I kid you not, I need you to stay for the post-credit scenes because they will freak you out in the best way possible. But anyways, yeah, that's my review of Thunderbolts, and thank you for watching. If you want to see more reviews like this, follow me for more. Peace out.